Hey everyone, this is Jenny from Homestead Corner, and today I'm canning up some pineapple. This week they had them on sale at a local grocery store for $1.50 each. So I wait until they're really low because these normally run between $3 and $4 a piece. So I like to wait until they're on sale, usually between January and now. You can catch a good sale for $1 to $1.50 a piece on these. So that's when I like to grab some so I can put them up in the pantry and have them for later. And we're gonna get these going. Okay, so first I'm going to start off by, I've washed my pineapple really good. These can hold a lot of dirt on them, and I just like to make sure they are super clean because I'm going to use peels and all. I'm not going to use this green part or this very tiny piece of bottom, but everything else I'm going to use. So I've already washed these really well, and I'm just going to take my tops off. Take the top right off there. And then we're going to take this bottom off. Okay, so this I'm going to discard. Compost makes beautiful garden soil. And then the rest of this, I'm going to start peeling the outside. So I don't know if I can get a good view on this. You want to take this right off. You don't want to take too much off, but you want to get it peeled. And we're going to take our skins and I'm going to put them in a pot. Take all these skins and throw them right in there. Okay, so once I've got this all peeled, I am just going to start chunking it up. And I've got another pot over here to put this in because that way we can add our liquid to it. Make this as simple as possible. So all I do is, you want to come in, you can see the core in here. And you don't want that core, but you can cut right up close to it, right down like that, and you've got all that pineapple. And you can just cut that core right off. I'm going to take the core and cut it in half and throw it in the pot with my peels. And then this I'm going to just start chunking it up the size that I want to can. And we can throw those right in the other pot. Okay, so now we have all our pineapple all chunked up to the size I want to can it. And then I have this big pot of all the scraps and skins and all the stuff that you cut off. So I'm going to fill this with water, and we're going to pop it on the stove and bring it to a boil. And we're going to boil this for about 30 minutes on a low boil. Once we get it up to a boil, we'll turn it down to a medium heat and let it boil for about 30 minutes. And this is going to make our juice for canning. I don't like to put water in it because it waters down the pineapple, but this makes a beautiful juice and you don't have to add any sugar this way. So we're just going to fill this pot up with water and we're going to put it on, bring it up to a boil, and then let it boil on a low boil for about 30 minutes. While we're boiling our scraps down to make the juice, I have over here in the canner, I have all the whoa, steamy. I have really steamy jars. I have all my empty jars in there sterilizing, so they will be ready and hot so we can get it all canned up. Okay, so our scraps have just finished boiling, and I'm just going to drain this off. I'm going to pull a few of these out and put them in my discard bowl. But we want to save all this liquid, so I'm just going to run it through a strainer and into another pot. Okay, so I just pulled these out. They are super hot, these jars, and we're going to start filling our jars with the pineapple. I don't cook my pineapple. I like to put it in at room temperature and then fill with the hot liquid, because I find if you cook the pineapple, it gets a little bit too soft for me. So I try not to cook it and just, a lot of people will heat it up, but I find that it gets too soft by the time it's done being canned. So we're just going to fill those up, and we're going to leave 1 inch headspace right at that big rim. You just shake them, and you can get a little bit more in there. Just shake them down. You can push them a little bit. You don't want to squish them though. And make sure your hands are super duper clean for this, the whole process. Anytime you're canning, that's always important. So, and I like to do about 3 jars at a time. I can move quickly enough that everything stays hot. All right, so then we're going to add our liquid back over here. Get that out. And we're just going to fill these up to that 1 inch headspace with the hot liquid. I love having canned pineapple, especially in the winter. It gives you a nice fresh goodness. It's wonderful for cakes, snacks, any kind of cooking you're going to do. Anything you'd use canned pineapple for, you would use this. It's perfect. And there's nothing in it but pineapple and water. You just make that little juice. And you don't have to make the juice. You can can it in just hot water. So then I'm going to take my little stick and debubble. Make sure you get any bubbles out of there. Push that back down. This traps tons of bubbles, so you want to debubble really well. And you can use a debubbler, is great if you have one, and if you don't, this little citrus peel is perfect. That's what I always use, this thing. Okay, so make sure there's a push down in there. And then I'm going to use some white vinegar. You can use hot water or vinegar for this. I like to use vinegar. And you're just going to wipe your rims. You want to make sure they're nice and clean. Don't have any juice on it. And then we're going to put on our lids. They're nice and hot. And then rings. And they're very hot. Alright, so I am just going to keep filling jars. Okay, so once the jars are all full, I've loaded them into the canner. They're covered with about 1 inch of water, so the jars are completely covered over. We're heating them up. Once they're boiling, I'm going to can these for 15 minutes. And there you have it, beautiful home canned pineapple. perfect to toss in the pantry for cooking and snacking and anything you use pineapple for. So yummy. And we're just gonna, they're still really hot, and we're gonna let these sit overnight. And tomorrow morning we'll remove the rings and wash them up, label them, and get them off to the pantry. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.